Expressions. I'm your host, Charie Ginete-Ilon. Here we discuss about life, about people who excel in what they do, in their purpose and passion. And for today's episode, I'm very proud and happy to have with me today the CEO and President of Pacific Link College, Tarun Khullar. Hi, Tarun. Welcome to Life
Hi,
Expressions.
Sherry. How are you? Hello to you and also to Variety BC.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Tarun, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Waiting for summers to begin.
Yes.
Springs to go. It's beautiful. We have cherry blossoms outside. We can't ask for anything better than that.
That is so true. I pretty much enjoy going out. Even sometimes it rains, it's still fine because the cherry blossoms and the flowers are blooming already, just like perhaps the students of Pacific Link College. Tell me, you have been very busy these past months for the school. And how about for yourself? How are you doing? And how are you keeping up with all the business?
Yeah, that's actually cherry blossoms are the ones that brought me back to Vancouver right now. I try to stay like we do have a lot of offices around the world, as and you have visited. So I was visiting some of our offices around the world. I just came back, returned to Vancouver about 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
catching
Wow.
up.
Yes.
But as a Pacific Link College, we are, as you know, that our mission is to expand up to 100 countries by 2025. So we are pretty on the right track, expanding, helping out students, and helping out not only the students, also like the dreams of their parents, around the world. So it's quite content. It's quite contentment, I would say. So I take care of, yes, like not only for here, but all our branch campuses. I'm the CEO and president. So I do have other team members. Not that I'm the only one who works. Actually, I'm the one who helps them what they ask me for. But yes, you know, I try to manage all of them.
Yeah, that is wonderful. And so, what do you think is the competitive edge of the students of Pacific Link College?
So we focus a lot on basically providing jobs. As you know, I've been seeing in Canada from the last decade, there's a huge shortage of jobs in smaller communities. You can name, there's Princeton if you go around here, Merritt, Armstrong, on Island, there's Campbell River, Comox. So a lot of these smaller communities are always looking for international talent. So what
Yeah,
happened is that, all of our students, when they come, and our programs have co-op, which means students get a chance to work.
yeah,
And what we do is we connect them with all the employers so they can get experience, but these employer communities can get the international talent that they need, which they generally don't get. So it's a very niche market that we are, and you might have heard in, I don't know, like CBC or like, in the national news channels, newspapers, that there's a huge shortage. So what we are doing is we are catering to the need of the hour and solving the issue of Canadian employers. You might have seen like during COVID, Tim Hortons almost shut down nearby Kelowna because they didn't
yeah.
have enough people. So this is something we want to avoid. So I personally thought that reaching out and placing all of our students. So since then we have made a policy of placing every single student who studies with us, and most of the times across the BC, across Canada, in the smaller communities, so they can learn more. They can really get assimilated. Plus, we are helping Canadian economy to stay strong.
That is true. And that is good for the international students because apart from learning academically, they also have that Canadian experience and really working hands-on experience, right? Yeah.
True, and also what I really like is that it helps them to do not only just transactional from the point of view of employment, but also it's cultural exchange, because a lot of these small towns sometimes have not seen an international person or not have seen an international person from a particular country.
Yeah.
So when they go out there, they actually bring their, and it's I have seen it's a cute exchange of culture, which also adds on to our Canadian rich culture, of which we call it as a melting pot.
Yes. And how do you advise these students to be able to adapt to a new culture that they get into once they step into the workforce?
So students are actually very, I mean, I always call it students are very smart. So they, and especially with these days, most of them spend 4 to 5 hours on Google, on their smartphones. So smartphones makes them more smarter.
Yeah.
They know a lot of things, but when they come, what we do is we have a checklist, we have a counselors before they leave their countries, and once they arrive on campus, there's a specific department which go through everything. What do they need? What kind of resumes? But a lot of these things which we used to teach them when they arrive are the ones now we have taken into orientation, and we teach them even while they are in their home country.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
how do you prepare, like designing the your cover letter, designing the resume based on that, and even sending out their CVs to the employers. And we have a portal where we receive a lot of requests from employers that they need people.
Yeah.
And upon their arrival, we have a huge orientation. Our orientation itself is like a course where everything is taught from like basics of what is the difference of loony and toony. A
Yeah.
lot of people still get confused, but the very basics we teach them, how to interact with employer, how to interact with banks, how to interact with the government offices, so that when they come, it's easy for them. And once they arrive, we have a team that handholds them to get into, let's say, like social insurance number, getting their MSPs, transportation, telling them about what is the entertainment, how they can manage their finances. This is another thing. So it's a complete package that we have seen over these years that students might face, and we kept learning from the student. I would say a student journey, and then we kept implementing in the orientation.
Wow. Those are very helpful and significant basic tips relevant in daily living here in Canada, right?
Sometimes I think the big things doesn't matter. It's the small things that adds up and become big things, right?
I
So
agree.
focus on small things so that the big issues never happen.
Yes. And how about the English language? Because not all are, you know, articulate and fluent in the English language. What help does Pacific Link College give?
So most of our programs, the student needs to have a certain level of English. They have to be, I would say, proficient in English before in order to enter into our programs. But if they are, let's say, they still need some help, we do provide free of cost English training, business communication training while they're in Canada. So during their course, if they want to learn, there's 3 to 4 days of English, which we teach it absolutely free. And we have been doing this practice for last 4 years now.
Yeah. And what do you say are the most common challenges that an international student faces?
I think one of the most common challenges, uh, I would say it also comes from, let's say, social media, which is, I would say that they're more aware, they're more smart now, they know what they will be expecting. But what happens is social media never tells you the right thing either. So when they come, they actually, I'm not gonna say cultural shock anymore. It's more about a reality shock. Because if you really see, like back in the days, probably, when I came, I remember, like, when you come here, everything is different, like coffee shops to, like currency, how banking system works. But these days, the world is becoming one. So when I say one, means you can go and tap your phone or your smartwatch to pay anywhere in the world.
Correct. Yeah.
You land on an airport, Tim Hortons everywhere in the world, Starbucks everywhere. I'm just taking an example, right? So when a student comes, they're very well aware of what they're expecting, but it's just that the reality check that what they need to be successful is quite different than what social media sometimes projects. So that's something what we have seen is that we keep telling them, keep counseling them, because we don't want them to get, they come here and after 6 months or a year or 2 years get into a depression that, oh, I thought I'll be here so quick, but why is it not taking me there, right? Because those things, and that's why our teachers, our staff, we make sure even admissions that yes, you could be there, but it takes time. It takes, with precision, dedication. You need, I mean, they have passion, but we guide them that you will be there, but it takes time.
Yes. That is, shall I say, the most important thing that they should think, that it does not come easy. It takes time, it takes hard work, perseverance, discipline, as you've mentioned. But what are the relevant tips, like daily tips, that they should do to excel in school academically and at work?
Yeah. So one of the things that we have noticed and we keep telling students is about do not leave their hobbies, like, even sports. For example, like once they arrive here, the weather is different, systems are different. So if once they come from their country, they have left their friends and family behind. So playing sports helps them to build friendships, which kind of keeps them, a lot of you might have heard this word homesickness.
Yeah,
I always call it the homesickness is what is home? Home is where our friends and families live, right? So when we move somewhere else, we have to build those, friendships again. And what is a better way than, being in the sports where they spend time? So we tell them, to keep them a very balanced life, play sports, get involved in extracurricular activities, volunteer, for example, in church, or there's a lot of charity, non-profit organizations, government organizations. For work, we do tell them about their etiquettes to go to work, respecting the employer, respecting the clients. How do you work? Be on time. Uh, and on the academic side, we have a lot of mechanisms put in place so that they learn how they can, excel in their academics.
yeah. For how long have you been president and CEO of Pacific Link College, Tyron?
So I joined in 2017, but I came as CEO. That's a good question. Okay, let me check. Yeah, 2020, actually.
2020. And that is the 4 years. Can you share with me the, shall I say, success stories of international students during your.
Oh, there's a lot actually. I mean, for me, any student who comes, they're happy, they get their job, and they get. So I'll give you an example. I'll take it in this way that we place all the students so they all are successful stories.
Yes.
Because if they have an issue, then we have a layer that they can come and see me. But I'll give you an example. Like I've seen, without naming a student, like we helped one time a student who came from a very, I would say, low income family.
Mhm.
So we helped them, we gave them the scholarship. Once the student came here, started working, and excelled in their studies, we placed them in a company. We started from, I would say, the entry level job. And now that person is a director in that company. And I wouldn't know because once students leave, like only in the comeback, but I received them about like last year. Their parents and him, his family, everybody came into my office
Wow.
and they shared the entire story. So these are the stories which makes you happy that, like, and not only that, that person is the student has actually invited and actually is helping more of his family members who have come to Canada.
Yeah.
Uh, these are the stories on regular basis that we want to hear, right? Like there's somebody came who got a support, and he and she then invites more people because as Canada, we need good people. We need people to come here, work, assimilate in our society, and take it more forward.
Yes. And Pacific Link College, I have noticed, has also been very actively involved in community, in community building, in empowering not just the students, but the community as well.
Community is everything. I always say like a lot of people, even I was there yesterday. I was just awarded as a global leadership award yesterday at a Macau Business Association.
Yeah.
But they were asking like, you do community work, give back to community. I always tell them I don't give back to community. Everything belongs to the community. It's a community that gives. It's just a way of seeing things, but in reality, we live in community. Like what you're also doing. Your other role as with Variety BC. Like with kids, right? The kids are the future, right? So people,
Mhm.
when they see like, oh, I have to now, I'm doing well, so I have to do some community work. It should be seen as a part of life, not somebody's doing well, so they should do a community work. They should be doing community work either way. It's
Yes,
a regular routine of life, because community means looking after each other. Otherwise, the word community will not even exist.
that is true. Yeah.
So it's very important. So we spend like all our teams. One thing is like in all the countries, what we did is we'll be reaching out to all the orphanages. So at least every country should have one, the local team help, and then whatever we could support, we support. And we also took pledge that, especially if the students are once they become senior in the orphanage, then we can they finish their high schools or degrees. We will also be sponsoring them, and we did help some people. So it's just an initiative we started about a couple of years ago, and I
Yeah.
can see it's growing more and more. It's becoming more and more trend between all the offices, but not offices. I'm happy that other schools, other companies are also picking up, because I think when we first met in the Burnaby Board of Trade, I made a
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah.
As a Canadian company, we go and do business everywhere, but business is not about just transaction. It's about being involved in the community, and which means again, like involving in community means you going and working out there as a volunteer or helping them out.
Yes. In fact, I was so inspired with the message that you delivered at the Burnaby Board of Trade Excellence Awards, and that draw me to you. And your message just resonates. And you are yourself a success story as well. And how did you get to do what you love to do, Taryn?
So I'm actually a software engineer. So once I finished my degree, I figured out like that's not something I want to do. So I entered into international business, and through that major, I actually went into the industry. So the university asked me about like, would you be able to go and do recruitment of students? And that time, there barely any students used to come.
Yeah.
But what happened is once I started going, and I was like, this is amazing, because not only I mean, that time I was young, quite young. So I was like, okay, this is the best way to travel around the world, meet new people, learn new cultures. But over the period of time, I realized that what we do is representing Canada.
Yeah.
Once I kept going more and more, so I was like, we need to set up something where we can connect employers and students, so that we can solve the issues of regular issues of our country, which will not only today but it will keep happening. It's a recurring issue.
Yeah.
So in order to resolve that issue, then I joined Pacific Link College, and then we kept going more and more, and just to resonate and reflect the multiculturalism of Canada. We went across the board and kept going and growing in different countries and have talent from there. And we are trying to make things easy, that through our offices in all these countries, when a student or parent comes in, they don't feel like they're sending their kid to Canada and there's no help,
Yeah.
right? Most of the time is once the student comes here, they're like, who do we talk to? If they have used a representative, there would be an agency, they will be like, oh, we have sent, but we don't know what's happening. We cannot talk to school. But once you have a school office, they can just go there and they're like, oh, an issue happening. Can you please help us? And that's a school office.
Yeah.
So they feel very, very comfortable. I have seen in the last 4 years, I have not heard any, because before COVID, I remember like sometimes parents would reach out to us on a
Uh-huh.
regular basis that, what's happening. And now I have never heard from anyone. And, but I do hear from my offices that so and so students' parents walked in, they came in, and sometimes during their local festivals, they bring in sweets,
Wow.
like so. This is a kind of culture because it's all about link comfortability, and then parents don't feel their kid is that far.
Yes. And what is great is that they come back because they're so happy, they're so thankful for the success their kid has achieved, like the student of Pacific Link College. Taryn, what would you like to say to that individual who aspires so much to grow and succeed here in Canada and who has not yet stepped foot in the country?
I always tell everyone that stay first of all stay healthy, and once a student comes in, I have very clear message: whatever you like to do, pick it up, decide, but build goals for 5-year goal and 10-year goal, and keep pursuing it. Do not rush towards it. Keep pursuing it, and live a very healthy and balanced life. And sooner or later, they will get reach their goal, which they have dreamed about. So everyone's dreams comes true, but at the same time, a well balanced life is everyone should eat healthy, play sports so that again taking care of their health, maybe meditate or go to the temple or wherever the place, whichever religion are they from, and meditate so that they can actually keep not only their health but also their mind healthy. And then life has so much to offer, so no one should rush, just take it easy.
Yes. Finally, what's next for you and Pacific Link College?
Next for you, Pacific Link College is like I'll be staying here now for a while because summers are here. So I don't try to, like travel. I actually absolutely avoid traveling during summers. But for Pacific Link College, as you have seen, our Dubai campus, our UAE campus is already up and running. We're looking forward towards the Philippines campus and probably our other campuses to come up this year.
That
So
is very
lots
impressive.
of exciting stuff coming up, and let's see how things roll out.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Taryn, for your time and for sharing your wonderful tips, advice, and having that balanced life is important. And I truly agree with that. And kudos to you for continually inspiring a lot of people all over the world. And good luck and congratulations to Pacific Link College.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Good luck to you and also Variety BC. And thank you for all your good work for the community.
Thank you so much. If you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share Life Expressions. And of course, don't forget to put your comments below, however you would like to share your ideas with us. I'm your host, Charie Ginete-Ilon, and my guest is the CEO and President of Pacific Link College, Tarun Khullar. This is Life Expressions. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
and God
Tarun.
bless
Thank
everyone.
you.